What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live. We got a short picks against the spread segment, and then we'll preview the game that the Blazers have that tips off in about 50 minutes or so. This is a TNT game. The time got moved up to 4:30. I believe it was 7 before, correct?
I don't know what the original time was, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it might have been actually like 5 or something. I don't know. It was weird. So yeah, the time has been the game starts at 4:30, more like 4:45 with the TNT game. You guys know what the deal is. It's kind of weird for the Blazers to be the first TNT game, but the second one will be Phoenix against Golden State. We will pick both of them. And we'll hop into that right now. We won't waste any time.
They got rid of one of your dreaded 10 o'clock games, too.
10 o'clock games? Yeah, I mean, back-to-back 10 o'clock games. Like, if you're going to have a couple early games, might as well just have them back-to-back. But yeah, so we'll talk about the changes in the schedule because games got canceled, or a game got canceled, and then a game got scheduled for the Blazers. So we'll jump into that and what that means and what that looks like. Before that, let's jump into picks against the spread. We had a ton of. Oh, I need to update that. That's the one thing I didn't update. Here you guys go. Here is the updated records. You got chat taking the lead at 30 and 25. We at least have 3 people over 500 now. Mostly everybody did good on Monday except for Westbrook. His strategy of picking against what he thought, which would have worked well for him to start the season, did not work well for him on Monday. A lot of us won our double downs too. That is starting to look more legitimate. It's kind of crazy how we're all struggling with double downs because those are supposedly the picks that we're most confident in. But yeah, you got chat with the 2-game lead on me and Eric, and then you got Reese, Trevin, and Westbrook. You also got Eric's phone popping off. Let's move into the first game. You got Houston versus Portland. I don't know where my webcam is. Let me fix that. Hold up. Hello?
I can hear you. I don't know if they can or not.
Yeah. No, they can't. My webcam's gone. I don't know why. Okay, let's try this again. Did I accidentally hide it? Yeah, I don't know. My webcam's gone for this one, so you just get Eric. You got Houston versus Portland. You got Houston with a 4.5 point. They're a 4.5 point favorite in this one. I'm going to take Houston. I'm not picking against the Blazers again. I'm going to take the Rockets in this one.
I like betting. I know it's going to sound like a homer pick, but whenever the Blazers aren't favored, I always like to take them, so I'm going to take them in this one.
All right. Let me try and figure out my webcam. I don't know what is going on with that.
Reese is going with the Blazers. No signal.
Yeah, that's a different, feed. I don't know. My webcam won't show up. It was fine on the main screen. Whatever, it's not a big deal. There's only 4 games today. I'm just extremely confused. So Trevin's going Blazers. Reese says he's going with the Rockets. Trevin with the Blazers.
Westbrook. I thought Reese.
Westbrook said Portland.
Yep. Blazers. All right. My bad, Reese. I thought you said Blazers. Trevin is Blazers. All right.
All right, and then chat.
You can just, if there's not enough people to vote, just take whatever so far so we can move on.
I'm not in a rush. We only got 4 games, and I'm just still trying to figure out what is going on with my webcam.
Uno momento, por favor.
No idea what you just said.
Said 1 minute, please.
Yeah, I don't speak Spanish. No comprehende.
That's like basic.
I know. I told you I don't speak Spanish. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because that is extremely confusing. Huh. Strange. That's so strange. It's just randomly gone. But alright, so chat is going with what we got?
8-7 Blazers.
Alright. So you got me and Reese going with the Rockets. The rest of y'all are a bunch of homers. Let's move on to game number 2. We got Detroit versus the Lakers. Detroit is not a 6.5 point favorite. That is actually the Lakers. My bad for that. I will update that so y'all... nah. Lakers are a 6.5 point favorite, not Detroit. I'm surprised they're only a 6.5 point favorite. Are the Lakers missing people, or what's the deal with that?
AD is not playing.
I will still take the Lakers, who are the 6.5 point favorites. I don't want y'all blaming me later. Like, oh, I thought Detroit. I said it 3 times there. Because the graphic is lying to y'all. I don't know why the graphic's lying to y'all. It's just, the graphic's fault. I am going with the Lakers.
Both these teams played yesterday. I'm going to take the Lakers as well.
Reese and Westbrook going Lakers. Trevin's going Lakers.
Chat's Lakers.
And chat is Lakers. Cool. Alrighty. Third game. Oh, I'm back. What's up? I don't understand. You got Miami against the Clippers. This game's being played in Miami. Miami is a 3-point favorite. Injury situation for this game is Paul George is out, Kawhi is out, Pat Beverly is out. For the Heat, Jimmy Butler's out, Goran Dragic is out, Maurice Harkless is out, and Myers Leonard is out. So you got Luke Kennard, Zubac, Ibaka,
Reggie Jackson,
Marcus Morris against Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. I don't know, man. I am going to take the Heat in this one because they will have the best player in this game. That is the only way I know how to pick this game. Trevin's going Heat.
12-3 Heat for Chat.
Chat's going Heat. Wow.
So Trevin and who did Reese pick?
I don't know.
Clippers. Reese picked Clippers. And
Just need your pick, and we need Westbrook.
Westbrook is going Clippers. I was going to go Clippers until Westbrook picked him, so I'm going to take the Heat.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Don't do that. I'm make you take the Clippers now.
No, I'm totally joking.
There we go. We got a split vote. Good old split vote. Phoenix going.
Who I have only Reese and Westbrook took the Clippers. Who else did?
You? Are you not taking the Clippers?
No, I took the Heat.
Oh, I thought you said you were joking. Wow, man.
No, I was joking about my reasoning, not my joking about who I'm picking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what Eric's on, but we got one more game left. We got Phoenix versus Golden State. This is the second TNT game, tipping off at 7 p.m. Phoenix is a 1.5 point favorite. I'm picking last.
I think both these teams also played last night. Booker, Saric, and Cameron Payne are all out, according to Jackson. I'm going to take the Warriors in this one.
I'm going to double down on the Warriors once again, by the way. This is going to be my double down pick.
All right.
This is like the third time in a row I've doubled down on the Warriors, but with Booker being out, if Jackson lied to me, I'm a
No,
ban him.
he was ruled out for like the next week a few days ago.
Surprised they're still favorited then, so yeah, I'm going to take one snap. Trevor's taking the Warriors. Reese is taking the Suns.
I'm going against my gambling buddy, except for on the one game we all picked the same.
Westbrook's going Warriors. No, that's the Suns.
It's tied at 7-7, so the
Who
next...
wants to be the last pick? Who wants to break this tie?
Who hasn't voted yet?
We got 36 people in here. We need a 15th person to vote.
Warriors.
You got Max going
Okay.
Warriors. Max decided it for chat.
All right, so Chad's doubling down on the Heat then.
I'm doubling down on the Lakers. Or
So-
not the Lakers,
the Warriors?
the Warriors, yeah.
I'm doubling down on the Blazers. Screw it.
Eric's
I'm gonna go
at
like
least
0 for 7.
Eric's losing his double down.
0 for 7 with 4 games.
Yeah, 0 for 7, 4 games. Just for that dig on Westbrook, just for karma reasons. Yeah, Westbrook's gonna pass you after today. Trevin, we need Trevin, Reese, and
Reese is going Suns double down against all of us. He's putting 2 on the line there.
Okay, well if that works out for you, man, you're gonna gain some ground.
Trevin's going Heat
bit
as
risky.
well, since you can't double down on the Pacers tonight.
Is that his favorite double down?
That's the only 2 he's won. Is doubling down on the Pacers. Westbrook's doubling down to spite me on the Blazers. Thanks, man.
All right, there you go. Is that all our double downs? We good?
Yep, we're good.
All right, cool. So you got this Houston game tipping off soon, and I mean, just based on that segment, I'm not too confident in the Blazers' ability to win this game, and not because they're not due to talent reasons or anything, but due to Christian. Have they been starting DeMarcus Cousins?
Well, Wood's been out the last few games with an ankle injury, so
Is he
Cousins
still
has
out?
been starting. No, he was probable for this game. Jackson said he wasn't playing, but everywhere else I've read says he's playing. So
Now all of a sudden, I don't trust his feedback on Devin Booker.
Devin Booker is for sure out.
So if Christian Wood plays, that dude's gonna drop probably 30 points on us. Cantor he's a terrible matchup for Cantor.
Christian Wood will be back in the starting lineup on Thursday versus Portland, sending DeMarcus Cousins back to the second unit.
Yeah, Enes Cantor is not who you want to guard Christian Wood. Harry Giles is the guy you want to guard Christian Wood. But, Stotts isn't going to flip around things matchup-wise. Like, DeMarcus Cousins is a much better matchup for Enes Kanter, and Harry Giles is a much better matchup for Christian Wood. But Stotts isn't going to, create a starting lineup based off, matchups or anything. No, he's just going to roll with what he's been going with. So you got Rocco still out, so you're probably going to have a front court of Melo and Kanter. We saw how that worked last game. Kanter is not a good matchup for Christian Wood. I mean, I don't know. You should have
He's,
Rodney Hood back, like, and Derrick Jones Jr. should play. Like, so you got those two guys at least. But overall, just the matchups in this game, and given the fact that I probably can't say we're more talented than them, that's why I picked Houston. That's why I don't think Portland will win this game.
yeah, the only thing I'll say to that is Cantor does. I think last time they played, he abused him in the post a few times, so he can outsmart him and get some buckets on the other end to make up for it, but probably not
Yeah,
enough.
but offense isn't our problem. You know what I mean? I mean, you just look at that OKC game. Offense isn't our problem. Us letting teams go off for 125 points is our problem. If we play defense like we did against OKC, Houston is scoring at least 130, right? And it's even though we have guys that can step up and replace CJ's production, and Canner can maybe exploit that matchup in his favor when he's on the offensive end. I still have a hard time seeing us drop 130 tonight. I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if the Rockets dropped 130 tonight. So that's the thing. It's just I am not confident heading into this game. I hope I'm wrong, of course, but just looking at things on paper is not looking good in my opinion. Our chances aren't looking good in this game, and then I mean, with a Terry Stotts led team, you can kind of just look at things on paper. You know what I mean? A lot of times, because dude's not gonna make many adjustments. So it's not like he's going to. I have no confidence in him coaching our way into a win through adjustments or throwing a double team out there for a few minutes and it generating turnovers and points for us. So yeah, overall, it's just I hope I'm wrong, obviously, and all that good stuff. I don't want anybody calling me a Blazer hater or whatever the internet wants to throw around. But overall, it's just not. I'm not too optimistic.
Yeah, so just for the record, Rodney Hood and Derrick Jones Jr. are both playing. They're probable, and it looks like both of them are going to give it a go, and they are both starting. So Trent is back to the bench, but Melo remains in the starting lineup.
Yep. Go Portland says, we don't need Rocco. He ain't doing nothing but shooting bricks. Well, I see that you don't value defense at all. Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. It's like you look at... I feel like Houston has the personnel to trap with Christian Wood at center. Like, he's agile, quick for a big... I feel like they're going to trap Dame and make other players beat them. And then you look at the bench, it's like... Anthony's probably not going to score 26 again.
Just to update that real quick. So within the last few minutes, updating the previous report, Gary Trent Jr. will remain in the starting lineup and Hood will come off the bench.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know I don't know why they started Hood just to put him on the bench when he started playing well in the starting lineup. I don't really understand that, but I don't know. I'm not even really complaining. It just doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if Tucker started at the 4, I mean, he just sits in the corner, so it's not like you need a physical 4 to guard him or anything. So, and what's one thing Melo is not good at is staying on his guy off ball.
Melo's gonna overhelp.
So I don't know if that's the best matchup for him either. Even though size and body wise, it's a pretty good matchup on paper. But yeah, I don't know
what I would do if I was Terry Stotts? I would start Dame, Trent, Hood, Derrick Jones Jr., and Harry Giles this game. You give Harry the Giles to start just because he's a better matchup for Christian Wood. And then you go out there and you just blitz the hell out of pick and roll for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you see what happens. That's what I would do. And if they're struggling with it, then you drop back to a more, a less aggressive coverage, which they always run in general. You know what I mean? But you throw something out there at the start of the game that they're probably not prepared for. Maybe you can generate some momentum to start the game.
So basically, play our Houston defense from last year, even though Harden's not playing.
Yeah, but blitz even harder because
Yeah,
even then, like our doubles weren't like super hard. Like I'm not, they don't have a James Harden, so we were kind of doubling him when he brought the ball up and crossed half court. But I'm like, I mean, just on pick and rolls and stuff, you got John Wall and Christian Wood. Just blitz it and blitz it hard. Don't let John Wall get the ball out of that trap. And if he does rotate, it's that simple. Like you can rotate Derrick Jones Jr. out onto Christian Wood and be fine. Like even Rodney Hood, like Christian Wood is a perimeter based big. PJ Tucker just sits in the corner. So you can switch pretty much anybody onto PJ Tucker. So if you're in a scramble situation, you could, you're not really going to get cross matched to an extent where they'll be able to really exploit it if you run that lineup. But if you put Canner on Christian Wood, they'll be able to exploit that every time down the court. So that's what is going to happen. You're going to have Canner starting, and you're going to have Christian Wood kind of picking on him a little bit. I am very confident saying that's going to happen in this game. I'm just saying what I would do. But obviously, I'm just a YouTuber and not a head coach.
yeah. I agree with everything you're saying. I feel like we still have the best player in this game. And,
Well, we do.
And I don't know. I just want to say this. Like, so OKC beats Phoenix last night, and I hear all these people tell me like, "See, OKC's good. It's not a bad loss to lose to them at home by like however much we lost to them by." And it's like I'm getting kind of sick of the like, "Oh, do you expect us to win every game?" type people. Because like when you're breaking down an individual game, you always have to talk about what went wrong in that game and the mistakes we made. So yes, if you're analyzing all the games properly, you are going to analyze them like you should have won every game. This is a game that's fairly even due to the people who are out and the talent levels and stuff like that. So this game requires a good strategy, like you were talking about, from coaching perspective. And if we don't get that and we get blown out of the gym or something like that, I'm not just going to sit here and say, "Oh, we were injured. What are we supposed to do?" or whatever. Like I hear other people on Twitter saying, like any win, like this entire road trip is a gift or whatever. It's just like, come on, like it's not that we're not in that bad a shape. It's not like we're completely devoid of any talent or anything.
Well, you just have to analyze wins and losses based on what happens on the floor, right? It's
Yep.
like people have this excuse made up in their mind where, oh, if we lose tonight, I'm just gonna say, oh, well, what can you expect? It's like they already have like pre-engineered excuses instead of like watching what happens during the game and seeing what actually is causing the loss in that game. You know what I mean? It's that's what I do. Like I just watch what happens in the game and see what goes wrong, see what goes right, and then I talk about it. It's that simple. And people like to bring up, oh well, look at OKC versus this other team on this different night, so our game is completely fine. Like
Every team
it's a bunch
loses to
of
bad teams a few times.
yeah,
this
it's a
season.
bunch of like cliche surface level, just random stuff to try and excuse things, and it's just not actually talking about actual basketball. But I think they're a little bit more talented than us. I will give them that. They definitely have the second, third, and fourth best players in this game. You could make the argument that they have the fifth best player in this game, given the way DeMarcus Cousins has been playing lately. So yeah, you got John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Christian Wood, DeMarcus Cousins. I would say, just with the way Cousins has been playing, those four right now are better than anybody else other than Dame that Portland can throw out on the floor right now. Granted, Dame is head and shoulders above all of them, and there's not necessarily a huge drop off. Like I would rather have Dame and Gary Trent Jr. than John Wall and Victor Oladipo. And then when you look at like Cousins versus Canner, honestly, it's not a huge difference. Christian Wood's kind of the X factor in this game and what he'll be able to do against Cantor, but overall, I do think they have a slight talent edge.
You're not putting Melo second?
Hell no.
Hopefully,
I hope you said 22nd.
hopefully he has a good game tonight and hits a bunch of threes, and yeah.
So, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Like, we could lose because we don't have players and, generate good shots and try and attack the rim and run some decent sets, and guys just struggle to execute, and we could lose by 5. Like, that then you might be able to say, oh, well, they're just a little bit more talented than us, right? But here's the thing. If the team is just settling for a bunch of threes even though they're cold, that's something you can criticize, right? Attack the rim a little bit more if you can't hit threes. It's that simple. If the team is not executing, or let me reword it. If the team is having the same issues defensively that they've had all season and hasn't improved, then you can criticize some coaching for that because these problems should be improving and they're not. If we run one defensive scheme and Houston just picks it apart all game and we don't adjust, you can criticize the coaching for that, right? Those aren't issues that are created due to them, arguably being a little bit more talented than us or of equal talent to us or whatever you think. Those are issues based with coaching, and that's why you got to watch the game. That goes back to my point. That's why you got to watch the game and see what goes wrong instead of just sitting here saying, oh, we'd be lucky to win any game, so, you can't be mad about any loss. Like, you can't be mad about anything in any loss. Like, that's just, it's so casual to me. It's so, like, I don't know. Like, you can think that, but it's like people try and force that logic onto everyone else when they talk that way, like we're not justified in being upset about anything because this team just sucks and we'd be lucky to beat the G League Ignite team. so yeah, that's kind of the way it is right now.
Yeah, so the problem with me is, like, if we aren't aggressive on defense, like you said, and we just sit back and we have a lot of drop coverage and we leave a lot of shooters and our rotations are poor on the back end, we're going to point out that these are mistakes that happen whether we have our full complement of players or not. So if they're the same mistakes that we constantly see and we have to repeat ourselves again after this game that these are not injury related problems, then I'm going to have a problem with that. If we are doing things mostly the right way, playing a good style of basketball, moving the ball, and we still don't win, then I will give the team full credit for giving their all and for saying that they tried and they just didn't have it tonight. That's fine. But, like, if all these problems still keep happening, we're going to continue to hit home that these are issues that are not personnel related. And we have players on this team, some young players who are energetic and who can play good defense, and there's no excuse for our defense looking terrible when we do have some of these guys sitting on our bench.
We're the 29th ranked defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's not okay. That's not acceptable. Even with CJ and Nurkic out, that's still not acceptable. Our defensive personnel is not that bad. So it's like, for all those people that love to just defend Stotts at any stop, it's like, what is the issue then? Because I don't know how you can justifiably say we have the 29th worst defensive personnel in the league. So obviously there's other issues. What do they say? Oh, well, it's just the undersized backcourt. Well, now CJ's hurt, and now they're getting their wish. Gary Trent Jr. starting. So why isn't our defense better if our defense sucked due to the undersized backcourt? Now it's, oh, well, injuries, man. CJ's injured and Nurkic is injured, so how do you expect him to play good defense? It's like, well, you're just saying CJ was the problem because he's an undersized shooting guard next to Dame, who's not the biggest point guard. So it's just contradictory. They just basically float by, just kind of tossing out random stuff to excuse things. And that's just the way, Pinwheel Empire goes about things, and that whole crew and that whole side of Blazers Twitter, and they're never going to change the way they think, and that's whatever. It's just kind of ridiculous to me.
Yep. And yeah, we even had it, HDP came in here last game like, well, did you expect them to be better than 9-7? Yeah, I did. I did. Yeah. I don't expect them to get blown out in the course of 3 games by both the Spurs and the Thunder, regardless of their injury situation. It's just, especially the way the style in which they got blown out, not getting out on shooters that are known shooters and stuff like that. Like, I just don't like. I just don't like excusing that because other people don't think they're good. And this is the problem. The people who think Stotts is amazing think that this team like sucks talent wise and that we have no players. So like Stotts is
Which
this amazing.
nobody
magician.
was saying. Nobody
Yeah.
said that before the season, though.
Nope.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this roster is Dame's best roster ever."
Especially
And then when things start
defensively,
going bad, it literally turns into, "Oh, this roster sucks. This roster sucks. Stotts can't do anything with them." Well, maybe Stotts is making the roster look like it sucks. That's the thing. Maybe that's Stotts' fault. Stotts is making these players look worse than they actually are. I mean, bro, like we're worse than we were defensively last season. How'd we get worse? How'd we add Robert Covington and Derrick Jones Jr.
Oh,
and
but
get worse?
because Robert Covington isn't shooting well.
Yeah,
And he missed last game, so that's what made our defense worse, right?
Yes, 100%, bro. Like it's comical, man. So we just continue to laugh at those people that try to act like they know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, anyway, yeah. So hopefully the Blazers can pull out this win. And if Houston wins, hopefully it's not super close. Hopefully they win by 5 or more. So I can at least get a win out of something. Last thing I want is them hitting a buzzer beater or something. Even without picks against the spread, those suck anyway. So would rather lose by like 6 points than 3, to be honest. But would rather just not lose in general. You got, I don't know, 9-8 is a very mediocre record. 10-7 sounds okay. Like, I don't know. I mean, Portlandia guaranteed we win this game, so we'll see. He guaranteed we'd win last game too, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so
should be a fun post game show. Whether we win or lose.
Yeah, if we lose, I don't know if it'll be fun, but I don't know. It'll be I don't know. Probably rant filled. I don't know. Depends on how they lose. If they lose.
Reese, do you have any big bets tonight?
Man, Reese talking about how he's such a good bettor, man, and look at his picks against the spread record.
I saw it was like 24-1 odds that Christian Wood would have 30, 12, and 3. It's pretty good odds for that.
Yeah, I would take that. I would put $5 down on that.
Yeah.
Win
like 140 or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shoot, if we're talking about money, I wish I bought GameStop stock.
There was some people in chat wanting me to break that down earlier.
Jeez, dude. Like, turn $4 into $300 because of Reddit. Bro, I should have put $400 down. I'd have like a cool 30,000 right now. That's like rent for a year, man. Oh my goodness. I wish I paid attention to that stuff and got in on that. Yeah, that whole thing is insane. But that's beautiful. That's the internet. That's the internet doing its job, man. That is I love that whole entire story. If you guys don't know that story, you guys should definitely go I don't know, read news articles or watch YouTube videos from people that would explain it better than us, because it's definitely it's cool. It's basically that the average person sticking it to the man, so to say. So I'll always love to see that.
And if you have the stocks, hold tight, don't panic. The people will win this one.
Yeah, whatever that means. Anyway.
Well, they tried to scare everyone by limiting it today, and a bunch of sites wouldn't allow it to be sold.
It's just ridiculous, man. Like, that whole thing is ridiculous. I don't even. Oh my goodness, I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a story you guys can read about on the internet, on Twitter or something, wherever you want to. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap up this post game show. This game will tip off very shortly. This pregame show. I said post game, didn't I? Pregame show. Yeah, that's just habit. So we'll see what the Blazers can do tonight. we'll be live in about 3 hours, a little bit under that with the post game show. Are you wearing a Greg Oden jersey?
Sure am.
Why?
I don't know. Just felt like wearing a jersey tonight.
Bro, if Canner gets hurt or Giles gets hurt,
no, it's like reverse karma.
Is it?
I mean, I hardly ever
well, tonight's game will be the test.
People get hurt all the freaking time. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, if nobody gets hurt, then I'll blame you for Nurkic getting hurt.
When they went out of business. So.
Yeah, if nobody gets hurt, I'll blame you for not wearing it when Nurkic got hurt. Right? So that's the thing. Like,
I can't wear
either
it, like,
way,
every game.
like, there's gonna be an injury that's your fault. Just from that. Yeah, I just saw the top of the 52.
Every Blazer gets hurt, so.
Well, yeah, you'd have to, yeah. Exactly. So, anyway, that wraps up this post-game show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We look forward to catching you on the post-game show. Did I say post-game show again?
Maybe.
That wraps up that wraps up this pregame show. That wraps up Blazers Uprise Live. Hopefully we can catch you on the post-game show. And until then, and enjoy the game. We'll catch you later. As always, go Blazers. Oh, I messed it up. I can't believe, dude. I'm all over the place. I forgot. How did I forget? Okay, as always, peace out.